Hiya, this is Kate from Daisy Nails, creating fun, funky and fabulous nails. Morning! If it's morning where you are, it's morning where I am. This is a design I scribbled in my design book for a Monsters Inc. Design. It was it was originally supposed to be the characters you love the most from Disney who have been in love with one another. Now, I do feel that Mike and Sully are very much like an old married couple, so I did think they worked for this. So see if you can guess from the background colours what each one of them is. I suppose this one isn't quite so obvious. But yeah, so what's that one? Girl Power. I think the next one is Apple Bite. So go on, which character is this one? Yep, you got it. This one's Mike. The first one is actually Boo when she's dressed up in her monster outfit. It's the wrong purple. It really is. But I wasn't looking at a picture when I did it. So, yeah, that's just life. This one, obviously, is going to be, you got it, Sully. So these are all Madame Glam colours. So Madame Glam is 30 seconds in the lamp. Right, so perfect white. See if you can guess what this one's going to be. I'll give you a few minutes to think about it. You'll see it when I think this might be the second one I paint. So how's life in your end of the world? We've got blue skies, a few clouds, sun shining bright. It was absolutely pouring with rain when I got up this morning, but it seems to be much, much brighter now. I'm hoping it's going to carry on that way. I've just had a week off work and I did a training course on Monday at Nail Couture in Lincoln, which was amazing. It was one of those things where you already know the stuff, but you just get taught little tweaks that just makes such a difference to the final product. For me, it was doing gel extensions. Absolutely brilliant. But on Monday morning, I ended up hurting my back. And so my entire week off has been me sort of trying to stand up straight and not hunch over too much and failing miserably. Right, so this nail, as you can see, I've used the three main base colours that I've used on the other ones. So the green for Sully, the purple for Boo, and the green for Mike, the blue for Sully. Right, this is the Madame Glam ombre brush. Now, the green and the purple do not ombre well together. So you've just either got to decide to keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going ad infinitum, or accept that it's not going to be great. The other thing with using the ombre brush is constantly cleaning it, having a little lint-free pad with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol on it, and just constantly just give that little wipe on that pad. Otherwise, you have too much product on the brush and it's going to end up moving up and down the nail, and it's going to affect the ombre. Right, so that nail has been in the lamp for the 30 seconds, and then I'm doing a second coat. That's the thing with an ombre, you always will need a second coat just to really get the finish you're looking for. There we go in with Caribbean Sea at the bottom. And because you've done the ombre underneath, it kind of gives more of a good base, because obviously when you do the ombre, you're moving product from that little area of the nail. So having the already done ombre underneath sort of helps to give you a better finish on the top. So again, just keeping that brush clean, making sure you don't turn it over so that you've got so for instance in this one you've got the green and the purple, so the green and purple side of the brush remain the right way up, otherwise it just ends up streaky. And I know this because, yes, of course, I have made that mistake. The purple and the blue will blend slightly better just because they're next to one another in the spectrum, but they're not quite right purple and blue. It would be better if it was a brighter blue or a paler purple to get that blend. Right, pop that in the lamp again for another 30 seconds. Okay, so we're going back to the purple one. Now, if you remember, if you've seen the film, Boo is dressed up in sofa, like the armchair cover, and then they shove a mop on her head, and then I'm not sure what it is they use to give her some googly eyes. And that's what I'm painting on here. So it's just the purple background colour, which, as I said, is the wrong purple. We can live with that. And then painting in the googly eyes on it. So just using a dotting tool to get the basic shape of the eye, which is an ellipsis. And using my short fine brush from Nayo Nails to just do the edges of that shape and pop it into the lamp. Okay, so I then did the black outline around the edge. And then using the same brush, doing the little pupils for the eyes. I don't know if you've seen the film when Boo ended up in the trash compactor. In fact, she didn't. Spoiler alert. But the cube comes out with these eyes dangling out, and Sully's face, as his entire body just sort of sags at the thought that she's being crushed into this cube. It's just so wonderful. I saw this film originally at the cinema. I went with some kids I used to nanny when it first came out, and at that time I thought it was all right, but I wasn't overly keen on it. But I think that's because I had to get them somewhere else, and I spent the whole time quite stressed about it. But having watched it since, I just love it. Okay, so now you can see what I'm doing using the white nail. Well, you can't because it's not in shot. There we go. Well done, Kate. You see what I'm doing the white nail for. If you know the film, you know that this is Boo's door. A white door with some little flowers on it. So there's a pink flower and a purple flower. The purple flower has got a pink dot in the middle, and the pink flower has got a yellow dot in the middle. So we do that. Full cure now. And then using the Born Pretty jelly gel, I'm going to do the lines on the door. Where like the panelling is. And I go over the flower with this because the flower is painted. Sort of over where the panelling goes, and it just sort of shows that it's part, the shadow is on there. I usually put the Born Pretty in for a minute. I haven't really looked into it. Right, so this is Sully's fur. I think I probably should have done these purple dots bigger, either bigger or more of them. If you look at Sully's back, it's actually, there's a lot of purple spots on there. So trying to keep the colour schemes in keeping with one another. And this bit, I think I would, if I did it again, I would try something else. I'm not sure this worked, but I used the Born Pretty, and I used it really, really lightly just to try and get the fur feel. And that's one of my absolute favourite bits of animation ever, is when Sully sledges down the Himalayan mountain and the sledge crashes and the wind's blowing through his fur. I just think it's absolutely incredible. Right, so now we're on to Mike. With none of them, I didn't draw any of the characters. I did colours and I did specific parts. So on Mike, it's just the apple bite background and then doing his eye. So he's got a really big eye, and his eye is incredibly expressive. And they do this by changing the shape of the eyelid as if it were eyebrows, as if it were the two eyebrows. So for instance, when Mike is frowning, the lid of his eye does like an M shape, as if it was like two eyebrows frowning. And it's quite a big wide open eye, because he's just got this level of naivety and innocence and wonder and awe that it's just this sort of wide-eyed wonder, isn't it? Right, just going in with the second coat of that white there. And each of those will go into the lamp for 30 seconds. Right, so he's got a blue eye. Going with the dotting tool with the blue. That's the Bluebell, I think. For 30 seconds, and then some perfect black with a smaller dotting tool for 30 seconds, and then a little highlight with an even smaller dotting tool, a little dot of white. Okay, so his expressive eyes, I got a picture up on my TV actually, paused it to paint this, so I was looking at it quite closely. So I'm mixing a combination of the apple bite, the Born Pretty, I think it's the, what is it, BPCA06, I think. And I mixed that with some apple bite, and I mixed some white in it for the highlights. And so it was just a case of trying to paint those lines to get some of his expressions, and to a certain extent some of the 3D effect of his eye. Do you know what I've got to do today? I've got to shorten my nails. I've done them really, really super long because I've had the week off work, but I'm back at work tomorrow. And my day job, which is with children's services, involves an awful lot of typing, often quite fast, and there's no way I can do it with nails this length. I'm going to have to shorten them and reshape them a bit. I'm a bit sad about it. The question is, do I keep the tortoise shell or do I go with something else? Because obviously as I reshape the apex, that's going to take some of it off. Right, so as you can see on here, it's sort of going in with the lighter greens, the darker greens, the shading. Just to really try and get that expressiveness of his eyes. Eyes? Can't believe I pluralised that. Sorry, like your eye. If you're ever doing anything like this, get the picture up. Don't look at the picture of a whole, look at where things are in relation to other things. You know, where is that line? Is it above the pupil? Is it to the left of the pupil? You know, what's the thickness of it in relation to something else? Right, this one I was going to leave just as it is, but I didn't like it. And I decided we'd do a bit of Sully. So Sully's got his little horns. They're slightly more bent than these two that I've done on here. But you get the picture, don't you? The thing about Sully is when he's in his normal being Sully, he's the cutest, cuddliest little thing, and then when you see him as the scaring monster, he's absolutely terrifying, which is why when Boo saw him doing some scaring, that she was terrified, having absolutely adored him prior to that. Right, so he's got his little horns into the lamp for 30 seconds. And then he's got quite small eyes that are quite close together. There they are, look. And then give him his little irises and his pupils. And if you're ever putting colour on top of another colour, give it the full cure between. But if they're near one another, you can just do the flash cure. If you're not happy, wipe it off, try again. And into the lamp. And then using the jelly, because I didn't want it to be too defined, like too dark, just going around those shapes. and then top coat them. I didn't use the Madam Glam top coat just because I don't want to use it up, so this is just an old one. It's just one of my favourite top coats I've ever used, but it's a brand that doesn't exist anymore. But their top coat was just divine, and I just happen to have one left, so I've been using that on my YouTube ones recently. And then they can all go into the lamp for a minute. That's how long this particular top coat needs. And if it's the Madam Glam one, it's 30 seconds. So they've all been in the lamp. Straighten them all up. There we go. These are my Monsters Ink nails. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. Catch up with my old videos. Watch all my future videos. Give me comments, tell me which nails you like, which is your favourite out of this set. Mine is Mike, obviously, it's an amazing one. Yeah, that's great. I'll see you another time. Bye.